wait, shit.
Couch Guys Sports Podcast, episode number 151. We're still in quarantine. We're still trying to come up with things to talk about. We're recording a day later, a day after than we usually do. We've got the Tom Brady interview, and honestly, there's nothing else to talk about this week other than the Tom Brady interview. I guess we're probably going to talk a little bit about baseball. There's the MLB is coming up with this game plan that's backed by the CDC, the government, that they can start playing in May, which is
baseball, man. Just quit. 2021.
Amazing.
2021.
Like,
no, 2021.
We'll talk about it, but like the thought of baseball is amazing, but it's a wild plan. I'll just leave it at that for right now. So
There's one really good thing that comes out of that, and I'll wait to bring that up. But there's like a 5-point bullet point of like the big highlights of what they're doing to make people play. There's one that I've been begging for that could actually happen, and I'm so excited about it.
It is, yeah, the game plan is wild, and I can't believe the CDC was like, yeah, no, that makes sense, let's do it. It's fucking wild. Anyway, Jared, quick weekly dump. So we just talked about that. Jeff Passan reports Major League Baseball and the MLBPA are focusing on a plan backed by federal health officials that could have players in training camps by May and games soon thereafter. Chris Sale update says his arm's feeling good. Apparently he's got a nasty cutter and wiffle ball with his right arm. That's pretty good. Too bad. Even if baseball starts this year, we're not going to have Chris Sale as Red Sox fans. Look, I understand. I want baseball back like everybody else does. Baseball is my favorite sport. It might be it's either that or basketball for you. I love the thought of baseball. Right? The thought of baseball coming back is great. But, my God, if we have to deal with a team with no Mookie Betts and no Chris Sale on it, I don't want to watch the season this year. I'm gonna if they play. I don't want to watch the season this year. I don't want to watch this team. I love Eddie Rodriguez. I've got a lot of confidence in the guy. I don't want him to be my ace. I just don't want that. Rob Gronkowski wins the WWE's 24/7 title, and honestly, so fucking lame. Gronk winning.
I mean,
the
it was something that as soon as you knew he was going to be there, like as soon as you knew he was involved, you knew he was going to win the title because that's just what it was meant to be. He barely was involved. He came in. I'm not a big wrestling guy. I'm not a big WWE guy. But like as soon as it was announced, you didn't even have to watch it to understand that this was going to happen. I
thought he was just going to host it because he's got a contract already with the WWE. But and I like Gronk. He seems like a great guy. Like he's done so much for the community, everything. But like I am just so gronked out, and he is no. And I mean this with all the love of in my heart to Rob Gronkowski because I love the guy. Gronk is the worst actor. Even in WWE, even for WWE standards, Gronk is the worst actor. And can the guy keep his ass crack away?
It's absolutely terrible. And like you saw this coming even like when he was working on Fox too, like during the football season. Like even then it was like, oh my God, he can't even talk about football right without sounding awful and cheesy. So what's he gonna do with the WWE? My Lord. I didn't watch all of it. I turned it off. Awful.
I don't know why he can't keep his ass crack away.
No, he just likes to have his ass crack out there, that's all.
Because he used to show when he was playing football, and when he dives off the top of the stage, I don't know if you actually saw the clip, when he dives on top of the stage on top of his buddy Mojo Rawley, when he dives on top of him, his ass crack's hanging out. Like, God, that's only supposed to happen to fat guys. Like, that's a fat guy thing. That's not a Rob
fat guy plumber joke. That's not a Jack Buff former tight end on CBD, like healthy dude, like gonna marry Camille Kostick. Like that's not meant to happen to him.
And last, Tom Brady officially has changed his profile picture on Twitter from him in a Patriots uniform. And he also posted a goodbye message to fans on his Instagram and on his Twitter account. And you know what? To be honest with you, it still doesn't 100% feel real that Tom Brady's gone.
No, I won't feel real. It won't feel real until the season starts.
Until the first snap. Until I see him take a snap in a Tampa Bay Bucs uniform. And
not even preseason. It'll be like, oh, in a preseason game, it's just split squad. Like we're just renting him out to get some fans in the seats, and he's gonna come back and play in Foxborough.
Right. Like, it'll be like Gronk last year. Like all the season we were like Gronk might be coming back. Week 9,
Brady's coming back,
I'm
right?
telling you,
Brady's
Brock's
coming back. Brady's coming back, right? Still? Yeah. Okay.
Brady posted on Instagram, "My journey over the past 20 years in New England has been amazing. It's been a long road, and I wouldn't change anything about it. The support and love of New England fans has always been unconditional. Thank you, Pats Nation." Honestly, I kind of wanted more. That was kind of a lame goodbye message. Even this video, like I wanted him to sit down in front of a camera and be like, "Thank you, Patriots fans. I appreciate you guys." But he's already done that with that post from before that says "Love you, Pats Nation." But I want to see like a video of him talking, being like, "Guys, thank you, I love you." Not this a hype. He basically posted a hype video the past 20 years.
It's just God. The worst part about all this too, and I think we've been saying this. Will the Bucs just Photoshop him out of the Patriots uniform and everything they're posting?
Right. Why not?
It's not hard. We can all do it. I'll do it for you. But everything they're posting about season tickets, there was a post the other day about relocating, like all this stuff, and all of it's with him in the Patriots uniform. I'm like, stop. He's no longer a Patriot. Can you just please have a crap intern Photoshop the damn thing?
You guys are an NFL franchise.
Like, stop posting Patriots content on your stuff. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. It still hurts. I'm still torn inside. And it's not going to feel any better if you keep posting our boy in blue and silver on your season ticket packages. You know what I'm waiting for, Nick? When they're going to hand out season tickets, and they're not going to Photoshop him into a Bucs uniform. They're just going to put Patriots Tom Brady on their season tickets. Stop. It hurts all of us. Go away.
They're a professional football team, a professional football franchise. They can't get a quality Photoshop of your quarterback, greatest quarterback of all time, now on your team. You can't do that. You can't figure that out. Oh man, we lost Jared.
Oh,
I lost you for a second.
Sorry. As long as I lost you, so whatever. It's fine. That was Skype basically just telling us, I agree with you. I hate it. They need to Photoshop Tom Brady into a Bucs uniform.
And it's just weird to see, and I still hate. It's weeks later. I can't get over the fact that it's the Bucs. Like if it was anybody else, I would kind of. Like I can root for Tom Brady, and we talked about this week on this week's CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. Talked about this week, are you going to root for the Patriots or are you going to root for Tom Brady more? I'm kind of leaning towards, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Tom Brady just because I want to see him go off in Tampa Bay, but it's only because it's the Bucs. If he was with any other team, like if he went to Dallas, like I'm not going to root for Jerry Jones. I'm not going to do that. But the fact that he's with the Bucs, a team that nobody gives a shit about.
Oh, it's awful.
It's horrible.
Absolutely.
All right, that was the weekly dump.
Bucs, guys, your shit.
This show, every show, as usual, brought to you by our friends over at Manscaped. Guys, with the free agency period done and no live sports on TV, there is an increasing amount of excitement around this year's NFL Draft. The NFL Draft is all about new beginnings, and our sponsors at Manscaped, which I used this morning, by the way, are here to give your balls a brand new beginning. I am talking about ball trimmers, baby. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and hygiene. There's nothing better than finding a diamond in the rough in the 5th round. The Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0 will help you find that in yourself. When you trim the hedges, the tree stands taller. I've told the story a million times now. When I was a young moron, I thought you had to use little tiny scissors to trim. Guess what I did? I clipped my ball sack. Not happening with the Manscaped Perfect Package. With the Manscaped 3.0 lawnmower. Lawnmower 3.0. The Perfect Package kit comes with the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 waterproof cordless body trimmer and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your manscaping routine. The 3rd generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. And of course, let's not forget about the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits, guys, right? If you don't, you're disgusting. So why are you not putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? You ever smell those things before? They smell. They're horrible. Subscribers get a new replacement blade, refill for your lawnmower trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. For a limited time, subscribers get not 1, but 2 free gifts. The Shed Travel Bag, $39 value, and the patented high-performance anti-chafing Manscaped boxer briefs, which I have, which I use when I work out, guys, and believe me, they are worth the money. This is the perfect package for your franchise quarterback. That means your penis, that means your balls. Get 20% off free shipping with the code COUCHGUY, COUCHGUY at manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. Listen, guys, if you're going to go hammering a nail, you're not going to bring a screwdriver. You're going to bring a hammer. That is what Manscaped is for your nuts, for your balls, for your penis. Get it for your penis. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code COUCHGUY at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Using promo code COUCHGUY, all one word, COUCHGUY. Manscaped is the best when it comes to men's below-the-belt grooming. Get yourself the Joe Burrow of trimmers, the Lawnmower 3.0. Hopefully Manscaped just doesn't get wrecked by the Bengals like Joe Burrow will. Manscaped.
Nah, they have a better ownership group than the Bengals do. You're good.
All right, so Tom Brady went on Howard Stern. So we're recording today, Wednesday, April 8th, pretty early in the day. Tom Brady went on Howard Stern and was there for, was it 2 hours? Was it almost 2 hours?
It was a 2-hour interview. He just sat there.
Long.
I mean, what else do we have to do, really? So, to be fair, what else is he doing?
But, like, when he was on Kirk and Callahan, he'd only be on for, like, what, 20 minutes, 10 minutes? He wouldn't be on for long.
That was forced every week, though. Like, this was something he went out of his way, probably. Like, Stern probably – I bet you Brady reached out. I bet you Brady figured this out.
Wasn't it weird hearing him just, like, elaborate on things, though?
Elaborate. He was swearing. He talked about smoking pot when he was in high school. Like, all this stuff.
Like, what?
Like, what? Are you kidding me? Papa Brady accepted that? He's okay with that? Wow.
No, he didn't. He didn't. So Tom actually got, like, really in depth into things like that. So he talked about smoking pot in high school. He talked about the alcoholics in his family, which was weird to hear Tom talk about.
You know what this whole interview did to me too is that it really solidified what the Patriot way is, and that the organization still supports the Patriot way. It's you never elaborate like this, you don't talk like this. And even interviews like the Jim Gray interview, what he always did every week was a Patriot, like all that's, which I hope those interviews still happen because those are great.
They're going to. They're boys.
Those are great. Hey Tom here, Jim here. How's it going? But what it told me is the Patriots really do have a handle on in really keeping everything in house and not having their players speak out. And it for even Brady, who is the GOAT, he's the best quarterback of all time, and he's just the guy that you always want on your team. Even he was subject to shut up, don't say anything, don't be yourself, and that's probably what drove him out of town. But like, it shows to me that the Patriots still have their organizational ways, and it's not going to change now that the dynasty's over.
So just going back to the alcohol thing, though, he elaborated a ton into his personal life, which is weird. He was talking about the alcoholics that he has in his family, he's got some uncles who were alcoholics. He said maybe one of his grandparents were alcoholics. So he talked about the guilt he would have if he woke up with a hangover, and he said his dad was always available to him. It was just weird and different knowing that this dude's got a brain and this dude is actually willing to talk. And it kind of made me think in the future, because he's somewhat well spoken, it kind of made me realize in the future, if this guy wanted to be a broadcaster, he might be able to do it. Because for years, the past 20 years, we've just watched a guy who's been under the thumb of the Patriots way. But it showed that if he wanted to go on stage and talk, he probably could do it. But there were definitely things that he confirmed to us that were wild for me to hear. And one of them was the fact, because we've been questioning this shit for years, Jared. We've been sitting here okay, does Tom actually have trust issues? If he doesn't like this kind of receiver, if he doesn't like this guy, if he doesn't think this guy can help the team, is he actually going to not throw him the football?
Right.
And we've had those questions, but he confirmed that. So he said this, talking about basically trust with receivers, Belichick, all that. He goes, Cole, I would say to Bill, I don't have any trust that this guy can help us win the game. I've definitely expressed my opinion to say if you put him out there, I'm not going to throw him the ball, which we've talked about for years. Why isn't he throwing this guy the ball? He's open. How come he's not throwing the ball? Because if he doesn't trust him, he's just not going to throw him the ball. Immediately, names come to your head. Ojo Cinco? Didn't trust him at all.
Didn't trust him.
N'Keal Harry this year? I don't think he trusted him.
Not as much as he should have. He did give him the ball, and I think towards the end, Jacoby Myers falls into that too, because he just
Jacoby Myers 100% fell into that later in the year.
Yeah.
The whole team, he said, the whole team is trusting me to do what's right by the team, so you can't put someone out there who I don't believe in. Because if I don't believe in him, it's worthless for the team. I think, fortunately for me, Coach Belichick always saw it the same way as me, which is why I think we had such a great connection. He saw football very much the way I saw it. All the coaches that I worked with on a daily basis, they wanted the same thing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, right there, like it was interesting to hear him confirm something that we've questioned for years and years and years. Why isn't he throwing this guy the ball? Because he just doesn't fucking trust the guy. Get this guy off the field. And don't you think that pissed Bill off at points? Bill was like, Brady, sorry, like, this is who we've got on the field. Like, you're going to have to work with these weapons. Brady was like, no.
Yeah, but didn't it sound like, though, that, like, they're kind of on the same page with that? Like,
yeah,
they
were
on the same page with the circle of trust. Of course it did, because last year especially, like, I mean, and you heard Brady, too, like, which kind of goes along to last year, like, he pretty much knew last year, the start of last year, that he was not staying past the end of last season. So, which doesn't really surprise me. I think we all probably kind of hinted. We didn't want to admit it, but we all kind of assumed he was probably gone after the way the contract was structured. But you looked at last year. Last year is a great example of, Tom, I don't care who you trust. Suck it up. This is who we can afford. Like, this is who we got. Figure it out. And they tried last year. They brought in AB. If he wasn't an idiot, they would have kept AB. Like, they didn't care about what he did before. They only cared about the fact that he was texting the girl that he's apparently had issues with during the season while in a Patriot uniform. So, like, they tried to get him weapons. They brought in the guy he wanted, Mohamed Sanu, over other people. So, like, they were efforts last year. I think Brady just really wanted out.
I hate when people tweet out that video of Antonio Brown catching the touchdown pass in Miami, because it just fucking sucks to see that, because if he stayed with the Patriots, Jared, he was going to be so good.
Mm-hmm.
AB, if he stayed with the Patriots, they were going to be so good. That lineup they had at receiver at that point with Josh Gordon, Edelman, Antonio Brown.
Oh,
I mean,
they still had Demaryius Thomas at the time, and like he could have done something in this offense. Like, it was a lot.
It was fake. That was like a fake made up lineup. It just wasn't fucking fair to see that.
That was like Madden. That was like playing Madden and like recreating the entire league and just dragging and dropping to make everybody, like, to make your team best. That's what they did. And it still he wasn't happy with it. Like, blew my mind.
Rolling back to what you said, though, about him knowing before the season began that it was really his last year. He said that I don't think there was a final decision until it happened, talking about his decision to leave. But I would say I probably knew before the start of last season that it was my last year. I knew our time was coming to an end. And I think that was, and I said that on this show, I said that on my other show on CLNS, I think that decision was basically made up in his mind when he had the Patriots remove the franchise tag. When he was like, guys, you cannot keep me here. You can't handcuff me here. Do this or I'm going to walk out of training camp. I think it was then when he was like, this is my last year in New England.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think all that stuff, they wouldn't give him more than a 1-year offer. It was a joke. They basically told him through that messaging, we don't want you here. Right? We want Jarrett Stidham. We think we have something. We want you to play this year because he's not going to be a rookie and play. But after that, we don't know. And then Jarrett Stidham throughout the year progressed, like we're hearing, right? We're hearing all this stuff about that he progressed really well last year. They love what they have in Stidham. That just solidifies the fact that they're ready to move on. They want to see what they have, and it seems like they mutually both want to just see what they can do without each other, right? Belichick wants to build the next guy before he retires and maybe win, who knows, depending on how fast that happens. And Brady even said it in his interview. He thinks he can provide a lot more value and really wants to see what he can do when the strings are unleashed and when he's unattached. You kidding me? He's playing for Bruce Arians, Nick. Like, he's going to have free reign of everything. He's not going to have any mute button. He's going to do whatever he wants and play for a player-friendly coach.
And, he even mentioned the Bill thing, like, with wanting to move on to Jarrett Stidham in the question before. So he keeps talking about his relationship with Bill Belichick, which has been a huge question mark now for a long time, maybe over the past 5-6 seasons. And really, since Jimmy Garoppolo got drafted, the relationship's been in question. And Tom seems to side with Bill, and I don't know if whether or not it's just because he was on radio, if he was in front of the media, or if this is really how he feels. But he said, and this is talking about Bill's decision to go with Stidham. He goes, I got into uncharted territory as an athlete because I started to break the mold of what so many other athletes experience. I was an older athlete, and he started to plan for the future, which is what his responsibility is, and I don't fault him for that. That's what he should be doing, which is right. Listen, if you think you've got the next guy, and we love Tom Brady, I can't express that enough. We love the guy. We've dealt with him for years. We've loved this guy for so long. But if Bill thinks he's got the next guy, it's his choice. It's his decision to then be like, okay, well, let's move on. This is what we have to do. We're going to move on to Stidham. We think we have the next guy. Tom, sorry, but this is just what we're going to have to do.
Yep.
And the last part that I really want to hit on with this Howard Stern interview is the Gisele factor. So you texted me about this too, and I've seen people tweet about this. I saw some people were pissed off about this. So past couple seasons, we've been talking about, okay, why is Tom not showing up to OTAs? This is bullshit. You've got guys who you have to work on your chemistry with. You've got Demaryius Thomas. You've got rookies coming in. Come work on your chemistry with these guys. Instead, Tom decided to skip. They're optional, but for a guy who preaches work ethic his entire career, he's like, Tom, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Well, turns out that him and Gisele were a little on the rocks.
Which, mind you, there were reports of this before. Like, there have been rumors throughout the years of them not having the best marriage and all this stuff, which some of them were fake, because some of them talked about, are they divorced? Like, all that crap. But there have been rumblings that, like, Gisele isn't happy with him still playing. So this all lines up.
There was so this is what he said. A couple years ago, she didn't feel like I was doing my part for the family. She felt like I would play football all season. She'd take care of the house. Then when the season ended, I'd be like, great, let me get into all my other business activities. Let me get into my football training she's doing. And she's going, when are you going to do things for the house? When are you going to take the kids to school? That was a big part of our marriage. I had to like check myself because she was like, I have goals and dreams too. 2 years ago, as it related to football, for me, I had to make a big transition in my life to say I can't do all the things that I wanted to do for football like I used to. I had to take care of my family because my situation wasn't great. She wasn't satisfied with our marriage, and I had to make a change for that. And look, I know that's going to piss off Patriots fans for the football aspect. But guys, like, I'm sorry that a lot of us don't think like this. We understand that this is a real marriage, right? Like, this is real life.
They're human beings. They're people.
Yeah, these are real life situations. I know there are going to be a lot of 18-year-olds online like, oh, fuck Gisele, who cares about her?
Tom can do better.
Tom, move on. If she doesn't want you to play, that's what she signed up for. I tweeted this, actually, like, basically this entire, my response, and it pissed people off on Twitter, and it kind of blew up a little bit.
Well,
and there was
Twitter's
one girl.
A cesspool. Get over it.
Yeah, well, there was one girl who was like, that's what she got when she signed up for marrying Tom Brady. There was no prenup agreement, so Tom had to fix it. Excuse me, ma'am. Do you know who Gisele is? Do you think Gisele gives a fuck about Tom Brady's money?
If anything, Brady needs to make sure she's right. Gisele needs to sign a prenup. Like, are you kidding me?
Does Gisele
isn't Gisele worth more than Brady?
Gisele's worth a lot more than Tom Brady.
Yeah, I thought so. Like,
Gisele's the highest paid model of all time.
Of all time. She's the GOAT of modeling. Like,
Yes. Do you think she gives two shits about Tom Brady's money?
No. Tom taking pay cuts for the last 10 years. Like,
yes. There are people who want to save their marriage. And I'm sorry that's tough for people to understand. But seriously, they wanted to work on their marriage. And if these OTAs are optional, Tom's entering his 40s at this point. This is the case. He wants to save this marriage. He wants to help the marriage. He wants to make the marriage better. Well, then sorry, that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking from a married man.
I really can't.
Speaking from a married man, I don't get how you can be mad at this guy. Like, if my wife ever came to me and said, you're working a lot, like, you haven't been home, blah, 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 and I have kids, like, are you kidding me? Like, that doesn't line up. You need to think marriage first. He's not at the beginning of his career anymore. Like, he's been playing forever. He knew he could get away with not going to OTAs. It's fine. Gisele is all in the right to say, hey, Tom, I'm not happy. Like, I have stuff I need to get done too, and I can't do any of it because you're going to be on the football field 24/7. Like, I need some give and take here. It's just a relationship conversation. And it worked. She got him to be like, yeah, you know what, you're right. I'm not home enough. Like, I don't need to go to OTAs. I'm good enough. It's fine. And in the Brady house, he literally said to her, I'm the fucking GOAT. It's fine. I'll say. And they won a Super Bowl. And then they won a Super Bowl that year, so it's really okay.
It didn't matter.
Like,
so Tom Brady on Howard Stern this morning. It was a good interview. It was like, if you guys haven't listened to it yet, it's long as fuck. But I would recommend going to listen to it. It's a damn good interview. Howard Stern, how you feel about the guy, how he changed, how he's no longer the same guy he used to be.
Yeah.
He's a great interviewer. Always has been. Listen to it. Phenomenal interview. Baseball back in May. We're going to talk about this quick. Then one more quick thing. We're going to wrap up the show. Baseball might be back in May, and I read the report earlier that the MLB is backed by the CDC for this game plan. So, parts of it are having the players isolated in hotels in Arizona
for the next 4.5 months.
The next 4.5 months.
Okay. Also, because Corona isn't in Arizona. Corona isn't in Arizona. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not there.
Well, not even that. So they're gonna test them. They're all gonna be put in the hotel. But you're right. Like if one case of Corona accidentally slips through the door, if some guy doesn't know who's like delivering something, and then next thing you know, he spreads it to everybody in the hotel, that's a horrible fucking look. So that's a really big risk that you guys are willing to take. But my thing is, these guys are baseball players, and I know a lot of young guys, like probably guys like my age or younger, are probably like if they're single, we just want to play baseball again. Get us to these 10 stadiums in Arizona. They're gonna also be playing at Chase Field, the Arizona Diamondbacks field. They're like, get us down there. We'll do anything to play baseball. I saw one quote. Some guy said, "I'll play on the moon if I have to," which is great. But what about the guys like Chris Sale who mentioned this, who have kids, who have families? You're going to lock these guys up like prisoners in a hotel for 4.5 months?
A hotel.
I love baseball, guys. Baseball is my favorite friggin' sport in the world. But you're going to lock these guys. Like, you are putting these guys in essential jail cells that you let them go. You release them once a day to go play some baseball. Here, guys, here's your recess. Here's your jail time.
Here's your yard time. Here's your yard time.
Yeah. Go play some baseball and then get your ass back to the hotel. No.
All right, boys, lock it up. Back to the cells. Let's go.
Just stop. So many of these guys have families that you're going to keep them away from for 4.5 months. You're going to have them locked up in hotels, released to play baseball, come back. Don't do it. You're forcing it at this point. I know it's going to be a huge money loss, but hey, guess what, you billionaires? You guys can suck that up a little bit. You can deal with that. Sorry. Guess what? There are people around here who are losing their jobs, getting laid off. There are people who are dying for this $1,200 check to come in. You guys can live without your giant chunk of change. You can.
I mean, some of the players need it, I think. Like, I get it, like the lower tier players, but even then they don't really need it compared to a lot of people around the country. And I think
they're still getting paid. The players are getting paid. I'm talking about the owners.
Oh, well, yeah. You need to wait this out as long as possible. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it at all. Their idea is not worth it whatsoever.
The biggest thing is they're doing all this because they're trying to have a 162 game schedule. The season's already too long as it is, Nick. They need to shorten the season regardords.
Yeah, so I have 162 games.
That's what they're trying to do. So like that's why they're like, oh, we're going to start up in May, blah blah blah. It's like, no, your season's going to be it's going to be shorter than it usually is, and I can't sit there and say, yeah, I'm confident that you're going to completely not like wipe out the season. Like I don't think they're going to lose the season because I think they'll figure something out. Because like even golf has put a schedule in place to start like end of July and through the November. So like baseball is going to be playing in November. It's going to be cold as heck, but they're going to be playing some games later in November than they usually are, and that's fine. But they need to be careful with this because, if this doesn't get any better, they could just lose the whole season. I want them to lose the season. Screw it. Like, I don't want to see the Red Sox play this year. I don't want to see Mookie Betts in a Dodgers uniform. I just lose it. I'm done. Like 2021. Here we go. Baseball.
So both of us, we're not in for it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
The one perk of this, though, if they do bring it back, because like there's like that list of like bullet points of what you can do. It's that one that says we'll have players mic'd up because no one will be in the stands. That's all we've been back. You should let them be mic'd up when they are people in the stands because look at spring training games. They do it during the spring and it's so much fun. Like the year Mookie Betts was mic'd up for the Red Sox, like he was running in right field. Hold on, let me get this one, guys. This is going to 2. I gotta hit the cutoff, man. Yeah, like I love them being mic'd up. So if that happens, great. It should happen anyway.
Did you see South Korea? South Korea's talking about putting robots in the stands.
Oh,
to be fans.
What? No, I didn't hear that. That's hilarious.
I don't know if it's South Korea, but there's an Asian country who is talking. I think they're doing it. They're putting robots in the stands.
That's hilarious.
To be fans. So we just talked about and this is my last point of the show. I've got a beef with people online right now. And I've said this a million times now on Twitter. On Twitter. I've got a beef with people on Twitter right now about this. All these assholes who are shaming rich people for donating are insane. There is this friggin' douchebag who is bitching at Mark Zuckerberg for donating $25 million because that wasn't enough for her. Because this person wanted him to donate more of a percentage of his money. He donated $25 million. You know what would have been a better thing for him? Just to not donate his money. Because then at that point, you're not seeing anything. But he donated $25 million, and you're like, oh, that's not enough money, Mark Zuckerberg. And people are also mad at Jeff Bezos, who has unfathomable amounts of money. Unfathomable. He donated $100 million. And people are still, that's not enough for people. It's never going to be enough for anybody. It will never be enough for anybody. The fact that anybody can find it in them to bitch about these people donating $25 million and $100 million, it's so gross. It is so friggin' gross.
All of this is gross. All these leagues are putting their own agendas first. Everything that's going on right now is gross. Like all the like major ball players, like commissioners, things like that, like met with Trump, and like they're all working behind the scenes to get sports back quicker than it should be.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about these people on Twitter who are just bitching about people.
Well, no, I know, but like, yeah, but it goes back to just like everything though. Like people are bitching at all this stuff, and it's like, but all this stuff's a waste. Like I don't think sports should be back until it's absolutely confident that we can get people in the stands. All these people are kind of worrying about like no fans in the stands, all this stuff, and it's like, why are we even caring to do that? Like it's only because the owners don't want to lose money. That's the only reason why everyone's pushing this.
Right, but. Even just like away from sports, just these people who are just bitching, like Darren Rovell, even I guess kind of a sports thing. Darren Rovell was bitching about Jeff Bezos donating $100 million and how that like wasn't enough based on how much money he has. It's $100 million.
Yeah, that's so stupid. Like the $100 million goes so far. Like,
and even like Jamel Hill. Did you see what Jamel Hill said this week?
I think so. Remind me. I know exactly what.
Jamel Hill will find anything to fucking complain about. Robert Kraft, and it goes back to Donald Trump. Robert Kraft donated 300,000 masks to New York.
And flew the plane, mind you. So gave the plane to fly to China and back. Yeah.
Very generous, right? Not for Jamel Hill, because Robert Kraft was pals with Donald Trump, because Robert Kraft donated money to Trump's campaign, which he also did to Obama. Which, okay. And I don't even know if Robert Kraft donated money to Trump's campaign. But can we just look at something that somebody did good and just accept that they did something good and just put politics aside for 1 second?
Yep.
Because who knows if Robert Kraft actually did donate, but he did something incredible to help during a pandemic.
Yeah,
are we seriously going to try to find something wrong with that right now?
Yeah, he flew his plane across the world and donated all these masks to help New York, his rival city, but he supports Trump. So
again, it would have almost been better for Robert Kraft just to not do that, because then he wouldn't be getting slammed online for helping.
Nah, it's a good cause. It was worth it.
The people on Twitter have just been gross. Twitter, Facebook, it's just been a gross time for people, because people just take shots for no reason at these huge amounts of money that some of these rich people are donating. The fact that you can even find anything negative in that tells you how you really view the world, and it's not good. It's not good.
It's not good.
Couch Guy Sports Podcast, 151 in the books. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali. Guys, follow us on Twitter at Nick Quag, at Jared_Scali. Follow Couch Guy Sports on Twitter at Couch Guy Sports, and the Couch Guy Sports Podcast on Twitter as well at Couch Guy Podcast. Rate and subscribe on iTunes. Follow us on Spotify, and also rate and subscribe. Well, you can't rate, but subscribe on YouTube as well. And watch the show, guys. Spread the word. Do all that good shit. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali. Guys, we'll be back next week for episode 152. Thanks for watching and listening.
Oh, wait, shit.